Welcome back to another empowering episode of the Pauline Chilton Show, where we dive deep into real estate, entrepreneurship, and building the life and legacy you truly deserve. Today's guest is here to challenge the status quo and help you take full ownership of your financial future. I'm so excited to welcome Amanda Taylor, a powerhouse entrepreneur, speaker, and financial educator who is fiercely committed to advocating for women to get into investing and financial literacy, empowering entrepreneurs to build wealth, scale businesses, and create lasting legacies. Amanda's journey is rooted in real life transformation. After a 22-year marriage ended in divorce, she was forced to face the truth. No one was coming to save her. What followed was a powerful pivot. Amanda took control of her finances, leaned into entrepreneurship, and made it her mission to help others, especially women, step into their financial power with confidence and clarity. She teaches that intimidation and education have an inverse relationship. The more you learn, the less fear has power over you. Today, Amanda helps others unlock multiple income streams, make money with intention, and build real wealth that lasts. Oh, and she's also offering a 7-day financial confidence challenge exclusively for our listeners. You do not want to miss that. Let's jump into this powerful and honest conversation with Amanda Taylor. Amanda, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Your story is so powerful. After 22 years of marriage, you found yourself rebuilding and reimagining life on your own terms. What did that transition teach you about financial independence and personal strength?
I know you focus a lot on real estate, and I was in real estate as a transaction coordinator, assistant to some investors. So I was in it and really wanting to kind of transition and do it myself, but I hadn't really pulled the trigger. And at that point, 22 years, marriage is ending. That's what I'd been doing a little bit. And then, he had a retirement plan. He had a W-2. I didn't. And so you're right. Like, no one's coming to save me. I have to figure this out for myself. So having been in real estate and done all this stuff, I was like, I've been making money for these other people for 7 years. I'm going to start my own company and start doing this for myself. And that's exactly what I did, because is really about stepping into it and owning. I had put myself in a box, I think, for so long. It's like, oh, I'm just their assistant. I don't really, I'm just the assistant. I just do the work. I don't really know anything. And then I was like, wait a minute, I do know a whole lot. And I could be I'm undervaluing my knowledge and my skills. So I am going to step up and step out and start doing this on my own. So, started my own company, started doing my own projects. I now have a rental portfolio. I'm in the process of flipping 2 houses right now and getting into some multifamily. So it was just the choice of the identity piece of no longer am I just someone's assistant. I am me, and I am good at what I do, and I'm going to own that.
When you said that to me the first time we spoke, and you said no one's coming to save us, that hit hard in the best way. So I want to go a little bit deeper into what that means to you and how can entrepreneurs use that mindset to step into their power?
Yeah, that's where it came from initially. So yes, I'm an entrepreneur in real estate. And then I decided to start another company because, why not? I started a business development company, and the goal with that really was the entrepreneur, the solopreneur, the small business owner. Our country was founded on those ideals. And what are we doing to support them, considering that I think 67% of small businesses don't make it past the first 3 years, right? So, we started this company with coaching, with funding, with technology, and all the tools to help, scale those businesses. And the one thing that, not one thing, there's a lot of things that you don't have access to as an entrepreneur. I can't walk into a bank and get a home loan. They're going to laugh at me and tell me good luck. I can't, I don't have a 401k. No employers contributing to my health plan. I'm a proud Gen Xer. I'm not going to have Social Security by the time I get there. And that was the point I was trying to make. No one's coming to save us. We have got to be responsible, aware, and informed about what our money's doing and how we are setting ourselves up for our future. So it really is about action that we are taking for ourselves, because you're right, no one's doing this for us.
And that's something I heard a lot growing up. I was raised by my grandparents and my single dad, who they all said to me the same things. They said, hey, if you want something, you have to go out there and get it. You're going to have to get it for yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you. That was a very strong message. And probably for our generation as Gen Xers, we were raised, we were the latchkey kids. We were
Yes.
raised to be independent. We were taught to find our way. And if we get lost, figure it out.
Exactly. And I think a lot of that has stuck. So it was super helpful for me. And I see so many people now. But, we'll look at those statistics too. Gen Xers are the least prepared for retirement than any other generation has been. We are so unprepared. We don't have hardly anything saved up for it, and don't know how we're going to get there. And the confidence level for our generation on how we're going to survive retirement is so low, whether you're a W-2 employee or not. So we've lost something somewhere in that. And I think a lot of that is just our parents came from a different generation, and they were like, go get a job, work there for 30, 40 years, and then get your pension and your retirement and go on about your life. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. So again, no one's coming to save us. What are we doing to make sure that we're set up?
You also talk about the link between intimidation and education, and how the more you know, the less fear you have. Can you break that down for us, especially in the context of money and business?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people, let's talk about retirement again. They defer those decisions to someone they think knows better. And if you're deferring that to someone else, maybe they have the degree, maybe they work for the company, but do they know what's best for you? Do they know what aligns with your values? But then people are like, well, I don't know. I don't understand. And when we talk about women are 25% more likely to say, I don't know, when asked a question about their finances. We've pulled back. We've deferred those decisions to someone else. And up until 1974, a woman couldn't get a credit card or a bank account without a man's permission. It's just ingrained to us to be like, someone else can figure that out for me. I don't know enough. And it's that intimidation. We think that we don't have enough information, so we don't want to mess anything up. It's, what if I lose it all? What if I make the wrong decision? And until you learn all of the options available, because we've traditionally seen that, it's the S&P 500 or what? I think people just aren't aware of all the options they have. And then when they hear it, when people talk about real estate investing, they're like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I want to do that. And crypto, even me, I'm like, explain it to me like I'm 5. I don't understand it yet. But the more you learn about something, the less intimidating it becomes. Just like you said, it removes the fear. And that's why I started a platform that starts from the basest level of finance. Like, I dropped my finance class in college. I didn't understand what they were talking about. It didn't compute. It took me figuring it out for myself, starting in real estate investing, learning all that, becoming very comfortable in that world. And then what else can I do? What else can I add on to this? How else can I incorporate this into other areas to learn about additional ways to protect and grow wealth? And when I learned this stuff, I was like, you can do that? You can do this? Who knew? Why aren't they teaching us this? It became like my mission. I'm like, oh, we just don't know what we don't know. And if we can just get comfortable learning about it, talking about it, then we're going to step into so much power. Who could stop us then?
Right. Let's go into income streams. What are some of the other sources of income that people overlook? And how can they start building them now, even if they feel stuck or overwhelmed?
Yeah, and I come at this from an entrepreneur background. I have now 3 businesses between my real estate and my business development company, and then my speaking platform and education for investing in women. But they say the average millionaire has 6 or 7 streams of income. Not all of those are going to be businesses that you start. We would all go crazy if that was the case. So what you have to do is manage your passive income. How are you building money in your business and building that revenue and working to grow that, and then investing alongside of it? So you earn money in your business, but you make money through your investments. And those can be across the board. I advocate for alternative investments. You can have some money in the S&P 500. You can do mutual funds, EFTs, those things. But there are so many other ways, especially Gen Xers, when we're running out of time to ride the waves of the market. Obviously, real estate is my favorite because not only is it great, it's collateralized. There are 100 different ways you can invest in real estate that don't involve you swinging a sledgehammer and tearing out some cabinets, even though that is the most fun part. But so real estate is one. Precious metals. A lot of people don't know, like, you can move your money from an IRA, let's say, and you can roll it over into precious metals, which are going up a lot right now while the stock market's going down. You protect that money from the deflation of the dollar, and you can move it back in when the market starts to go up. I didn't know you could do that, but I learned. You can earn money within a life insurance policy. Did you know that? And then you can borrow out of it at the same time. I didn't know that. So you have to have life insurance anyway. Why wouldn't you set it up and structure it in a way that's going to grow and compound every year and build wealth? And it just keeps going from there. I've advocated a lot for learning about private equity and venture capital. Less than 2% of venture capital goes to female-owned businesses. Why don't you find a way to support those female-owned businesses, create a win-win scenario? You're supporting someone, you're supporting a cause that you believe in. I mean, they break these down. I'm working with a medical tech firm right now that is women-funded and, women founders. This is a fantastic way to, you can earn some money, you can own part of a business that's doing a wonderful thing, and it just creates such an amazing opportunity. So when you talk about revenue streams, there are so many ways that you can learn about, get vested in, and just, it doesn't take that much to get started. And, back to that intimidation education thing, baby steps. Get a little comfortable, see a little result, and then take a little bit bigger step. And it just grows from there.
That's so much information, just great nuggets right there. When it comes to earning and making money, what's the mindset shift you think most people need to make in order to truly create wealth?
I think it comes down to surviving versus thriving. And I think a lot of people, I'll use the entrepreneurs again as the example, they start a business, they are wearing all the hats, they are doing all the thing, they are pouring all of their personal investment, leveraging everything they have to start this business. That is not sustainable, and we know that. So when we shift the mindset from being self-employed to being a business owner, we make different decisions. And that's all about looking at things from a much higher view and a much longer term compounding effect of decisions. It's about a scalable process, not I just have to tread water for today. Mm-hmm. It's what can I do today that I can duplicate and multiply that will pay for itself over and over and over again. What systems can I create? What collateral, what intellectual property, what processes do I use that I can monetize throughout all of this so that it just keeps growing? And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, is they're just trying to get through today, and then they're pouring all of that money back into the business. Get a business, learn how to run it like a business, and then take the first part of those profits and put it into an investment. Already have that planned, knowing that you've learned how to run the business, you've shifted your mindset, you know how to generate revenue and create a good profit. Take those profits, invest them outside, and that's going to continue to grow both things.
Oh, yeah. I've read somewhere that you should run your business like Walmart.
I actually have a video
The
about
richest.
Walmart and running your business like Walmart on my website.
Oh, awesome. Alice Walton, the daughter of Walmart founder Sam Walton, is the richest woman in the world. That is as of today. She just overtook French L'Oreal heiress Francois Bettencourt Myers. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that. So I'll go into my next question. For women especially, financial knowledge can feel out of reach. How do you help women step into financial leadership and confidence, even if they've been out of the loop for years?
I have a course and I started a community, and I kind of base it on Investing 101. We all can start at a very non-intimidating, easy level. I mean, we start with vocabulary here. Do we know what liquidity, arbitrage, even in real estate, when I first started and they're throwing around LTV, ARV, this, that, and I'm like, Google this, Google, we don't know. So we start with the terminology so that it makes sense. And then we move on to each asset class, define what the returns generally are, what kind of money do you have to get started in there, what is your level of liquidity, how long is your money out, what you can expect, all of these things, so that you can kind of put everything into a bucket and make it much easier to identify, yes, that sounds great, no way, and know kind of where to start. So the community piece of it is a place to come ask questions without fear of judgment. No one is in there. I'm not a financial advisor. I believe that financial advisors are employed by funds to sell the funds that they're commissioned to sell. I just want to educate and inform and give you all of the possibilities and all of the tools and strategies that I know of so that you can make the best decision for you.
So, what role does entrepreneurship play in long-term wealth building and legacy creation? And how can someone start building a business that supports both?
I think that entrepreneurship, and I never thought I would be here. It was a total accident. But now it's like I couldn't go back to anything else. I'd be the least employable person there is. But that's the legacy in and of itself, is that you created something. So that is one piece of it, just the creation of something and the sustainability of that thing. But it's kind of what we were talking about earlier. When you get into the job, you do what the job tells you. You have the role the job tells you to do. You have little room for expansion of that role. You take the benefits they give you. You take the retirement plan they give you. And you don't think much outside of that. Most people don't. But as an entrepreneur, we have access to so much more. And when I talk about all those tools and strategies, it's not like somebody with a job can't do those things, but we have choice. We have way more choice and freedom on how we choose to allocate our resources and our assets. And if we just keep in mind that those assets are the things that are going to grow our wealth, and if you are investing in things that are going to create generational wealth, that's your legacy right there. If you can start doing that, and then That's where it comes in, the philanthropy piece of things. And it's important to me, we're working on setting up a family financial literacy foundation. I want to support those things that are going to continue way after I'm gone and help other people just create more and more awareness around this subject, because unfortunately, I'll butcher the statistic, but it's in the high 80% of people live paycheck to paycheck. And here I am talking about investing and creating generational wealth. There's a gap, and I want to help close that gap.
And so you're offering our listeners a free 7-day financial confidence challenge. Tell us about that and what kind of transformation someone can expect if they can commit to it.
Yeah, it's a 7-day workbook. You get little exercises each day, almost like a journal. And it's really asking you questions to define your money mindset, because there are blocks within you that you may not even be aware of that are keeping you from pushing further, from learning more, to thinking differently about your money. So it just walks you through certain questions every day and kind of puts you in a scenario that you need to think a little bit differently about something. So it's really building that financial confidence, finding out where you are, challenging you to go a little further. So 7-day financial confidence challenge. Take you out of your
Awesome.
comfort zone.
Legacy is such a powerful word. How do you define legacy? And how can everyday people, not just millionaires, start creating one through their financial choices?
I think is kind of what I said earlier about supporting things that you believe in. If I'm just investing in a mutual fund, how many people actually look at all of the funds within that and know who they're investing in or what they're investing in? They probably don't. And for all you know, I mean, people who complain about, companies, certain companies, they're probably investing in them through their funds. So you do have a choice. You can invest in things that align with your values. It's like I was talking about with venture capital. Now, a lot of those do require more of an investment, but there are funds. Even fractional real estate investing into a real estate fund. A lot of those you can invest in sober living houses. There's things that are helping people that you can invest in that are going to A, earn you a return, and B, help someone. That's what legacy is. That's what wealth does. You can, support nonprofits. You can do so many things with that it doesn't matter if the whole world knows who you are or what you did. It's, what did you do for that person, or how did you affect your community? It's like, I don't want to change the world. I want to change my world. And that's the best that I can do. And I'm going to do it every day for the rest of my life.
What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone listening right now who's ready to take back control of their finances and their future?
I say the number one thing to start with, if you're not investing or you don't really know where to start, if you have a bank savings account, just a general Chase Bank, Bank of America savings account, you are losing money every day. So if you do nothing else, put it in a high yield savings account. There are plenty. I think right now they're paying out at like 4.25%. I think Chase is maybe 1%. So it's a big difference on return on your money. So if you're doing nothing else, if you're not investing, you're just saving, at least earn more interest. So that's my, if you do nothing else, get a high yield savings account.
You've shared so much great advice. Amanda, for anyone listening who's feeling inspired and wants to learn more or work with you, what's the best way for them to connect with you and get plugged into your world?
Yeah, I am on LinkedIn at Amanda Taylor Biz, B-I-Z. I'm there all the time. I post a ton of videos with lots of great nuggets, and you can connect with me there. And I know you'll mention it too, but my website, expandyourempire.org, coaching community courses, and you can connect with me through there as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Amanda. If today's conversation lit a fire under you and you're ready to step into financial confidence, build real wealth, or scale a business that creates a legacy, don't wait. Reach out to Amanda and learn more at expandyourempire.org. You'll find her free 7-day financial confidence challenge and all the tools you need to start building your empire with intention. Again, that's expandyourempire.org. Go check it out and take your first step toward a more empowered financial future. And as always, if you have enjoyed today's episode, remember to like, share, and follow the Pauline Chilton Show. We're bringing you powerful conversations every week to help you grow in business, in life, and in legacy. You can listen on your favorite podcast platform and be sure to follow us on social media to stay in the loop with new episodes, behind the scenes content, and incredible guests like Amanda. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time on the Pauline Chilton Show.